Hey everyone, welcome back to the Landvault Podcast. Today we're going to go in depth about the different use cases that the metaverse could bring countries, especially in the MENA region. So I'm here with Hamza, VP of Sale. Welcome back. We talk a lot about metaverse. There is a lot of activity here in the region, a lot of governments and institutions jumping in across sports, across sustainability, across this, and it kind of feels like metaverse is going to change everything overnight. But we know that things take time, right? So what do you think the first real use cases that are actually going to provide real value are going to be here in the region?
I mean, first of all, thank you for having me again, Sam, and really
You're a
excited to
regular
talk about.
guest. You're a regular. You're not even a guest anymore.
I
You're
know.
just a regular. You're a regular.
We probably so yeah, I'm so excited to touch base on this topic about training use cases in the metaverse within the region. I mean, Dubai in the end is an industrial hub, and you have a lot of entities when it comes to training. They're very, very peculiar about safety, right? So one of the use cases that the metaverse brings, or the potential benefits that it brings for such entities, is safety and security. Now, imagine you have these warehouses, logistical warehouses, and what they can do is they can create a digital twin of their warehouses, through which they can train their staff to enter the warehouse, to roam around the warehouse, to see the necessary like security protocols, or to see, for example, where is shelf AB1? How do you like if you want to load dangerous cargo, where in the warehouse do you load these dangerous cargos? Or if you want to load liquids, where in the warehouse you load liquids? Now, I think entities such as NEOM have been, like digitizing their factories, where they're creating a digital twin, enabling the staff and the users to come in, check the factory out through the metaverse, roam around the factory, interact with the machinery, interact with screens, understand security protocols, and stimulate, training environments within the metaverse. So, in terms of benefits, I guess there's obviously cost benefits,
Mhm.
because the people don't have to be physically present and roam around. There's time benefit, where they can, on their own leisure, roam around and understand the necessary protocols and learn about the environment. There is safety benefit, where you don't have to wear a safety hat, or there are no hazard that can happen within the metaverse, right? This is some things that come to my mind. Obviously, let me know what you think about this as well. So.
Yeah, I think for a lot of construction sites or, as you said, big environments, training can be exactly as you said, can be expensive. It can take a lot of time, and it can be dangerous as well if you're a crane operator and you're climbing up the crane for the first time. This is something that could be trained in a digital way, and you could run through hundreds of scenarios very quickly, which we probably couldn't run in the real world. And some of those could be emergency scenarios as well. And what happens if this factor comes into play? So I think this is one. I do think that logistics as well. We're working with a client in Abu Dhabi, as you know, with on a logistical project like this. It's a big event space, and they're basically trying to simulate what happens if this exit is closed. Where can all the people go out from, and how do we simulate these different scenarios? So I also think this is where AI and the virtual worlds collide, where you can run those simulations, hundreds of them, and very quickly get a sense of what would happen in each scenario, as opposed to having to deal with that in the real world. So I think that's those are definite use cases that people do not talk as much. It's maybe not as sexy as a fashion show in the metaverse, but these actually provide real value.
I also heard about Emirates Airlines, like basically training their staff in the metaverse,
Yeah.
and they wanted to train their cabin crews in the metaverse, and that's really interesting. I mean, the amount of time, cost, and money that they could save there, that would be huge, right?
Yeah,
So,
again, I think that's, there's, I know that if you're air hostess, you have to do a certain amount of training, safety training every year, and they have these warehouses with like an actual plane, and they show you how to evacuate the plane, under certain if something happened. I don't think that I would want my pilot and air hostess to only train the metaverse. I think nothing really replaces real training, but for certain things that could work for sure.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's the pre-training kind of simulation that you can do. So where you do have the obviously the live training or the potential exam, but then you have the necessary like simulations or training environments that you complete, where you could actually, I mean, that just brought something to my mind where you could actually gamify these and have like levels of training.
Yeah.
Like you complete level one, you get the certificate, then you complete level two, you get this certificate, and like that you can just continue to grow within the ecosystem and get all these trainings, which I think, I mean, it's not a bad idea. You could even then print them out and download them. So these training environments could be fun. They could be engaging. They could be transparent. Among obviously having all the other benefits as well. So I'm surprised why people honestly have not like jumped on this. It's life changing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And some of this stuff has existed for a while, right? With VR, some of the first use cases. I mean, I was involved in the VR industry since 2015, looking at some of the early use cases, and a lot of them were around simulations and training. And so I think those are more 3D environments that do not really require the whole potential of the metaverse. When we think metaverse, I think more about this huge environment that is multiplayer, right? Where everyone can join and participate and potentially create an economy on top of that world, not just the training that a handful of employees will use. So I do agree that the first use case for those 3D worlds could be training, could be more like enterprise. But if we think about metaverse, and so consumers, right? Millions of consumers here from the region jumping into an experience to discover their favorite brand or their favorite artist. Like, what do you think, if we think about that specifically, could be the first use case here in the region?
Well, in the region, in terms of, I think, in terms of the artists, good question. I mean, I can touch base upon instead of artists, I can actually go for like celebrities. Okay, like I was just thinking, like imagine having a celebrity build their metaverse. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, these people have like massive followers, right? And people want to engage with them. What are the current, at this point of time, what are the ways for the audience or the fans to engage with
Yeah.
celebrities or with their, I mean, it's social media.
Yeah.
Uh, they can probably write a comment on Instagram or Facebook, or they can probably stream some videos and write comments. How do you, at this point of time, I think there's no way for a fan to really engage with their celebrity idol, right? But imagine having a metaverse or having an immersive experience where you have, when you enter this immersive experience, you have like an avatar, or you have like a digital presence of the celebrity welcoming the fan. Hey, welcome. And this way, that the celebrity can actually talk to the audience, like it can actually have a conversation where fans can ask about the celebrity. Well, like, what are your hobbies? I mean, I know people can Google this, but it's different when you have the celebrity actually
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
about this.
No, for sure. For
uh
sure.
you can roam around the experience, uh maybe have a digital twin of the celebrity's house, so that the fans have like a feeling that I am in the house of the celebrity, and engage with certain items. If you have like top star NBA player, or a football player, you can go and have like interact with his, like, for example, his t-shirts or sneakers within the metaverse. And in fact, you could actually buy them as you go
Yeah.
close to the shirt. it tells you that when did this celebrity or this football player or this athlete wore this, and you get more information. So you're learning about the celebrity, you're learning about the idol, and then you can purchase it and save it as a digital item. So what are the benefits here? The benefit is that more engagement from the fans, right? And obviously the fans are then learning about the celebrity, or they're learning about the idol, and it can also actually drive bottom line revenue in terms of sales in digital
For
assets.
sure.
So the use cases they're huge in this region. I think that um, it would be very interesting to have some like Arab artists to come on board, engage with the fans globally, because a lot of people actually, I mean, they don't know, or either they're not really aware that there's some really good talent within this region, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
could actually cross border, open the world,
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
engagement,
No,
right?
that's cool. I mean, we built on the sandbox. Actually, I haven't released it, but it's something that we were waiting for another bull market and more excitement happening around those platforms. But we built an influencer island. We had a few influencers lined up to like basically create that experience, and not just one, but they could basically come in and have a digital event, a digital AMA, ask me anything, or do product launches to a specific community of fans that maybe would have their NFTs. So if you have the NFT, you can go to the second floor of the building where you have like an exclusive experience. So you can, as you said, you can deepen that engagement with the fans. At the moment, whether I just I've heard of a football player, or if let's say I've heard of Messi once, or if I'm like a huge fan, my engagement with him is not that different. I'm going to follow him on social, right? It doesn't take much to follow. What if I'm a super fan? Like I want to get to the next level. I would be willing to buy collectibles from him. This is now something that you'll be able to do and have a 3D experience, as you said, a guided tour, and talk to him. Obviously, it's an avatar, but it still looks so, and collect, and you can do a lot more things. That would be quite exciting. I think Drake had done something like that, where he kind of create a copy of his house, or maybe it's a fake house, but you could go from room to room and discover his sneakers collection, things like that. I mean, if you did Kylie Jenner's closet and you actually sold real products from there, I mean, this is like a
Yeah,
golden
that would be
opportunity for
huge.
brands to be involved, right? Like no brainer.
That would be
So yeah,
right. That would be huge. I mean, I
yeah,
really see the social platforms like as well, like changing in the future, where you actually have these celebrities. I don't think we're far from it when we have these Instagram, for example, having an option where people are actually talking to an AI of the celebrity. It can
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
right?
And the
And
3D presence, yeah, 3D
exactly,
templates you can customize. Yeah, all this stuff is just not very far. The technology is already there, and it's the desire for people is already there. You can see the engagement in Roblox every time a brand launches something. So I think this is going to be the next step for a lot of those social media networks.
yeah. And one of the key factors is also, like, I would say, in terms of the age demographic, where uh like you mentioned, super fans, right? You have these mature kind of fans, which are like, yes, they are fans, but they're not very crazy about, for example, going and doing massive collectibles, or if they get us. But imagine you have a football player, and we have seen this so many times where you have an age gap, like you have this age of teenagers,
Mm.
where even if they get a chance to talk to a 3D avatar, or an artificial intelligence hologram of the celebrity or the football player, they're going to go crazy. It's gonna be insane, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. I think it's all
so
about engagement, right? At the end of the day, that's really what the power of 3D is about. Whether you are a music festival or a brand or a celebrity, it's just like videos are better than pictures. 3D worlds are even better than videos. I see that as the next logical step towards more engagement. So I think everything is moving 3D. That's our thesis at Landvault. The internet is becoming three-dimensional. And this is not just because of the technology. This is a change that is driven by people that want to have more immersive environments, more natural environments to communicate and to tell better stories. And I think, as you said, anyone will be able to capitalize on that. And when you see the amount of time that people spend in virtual worlds compared to like reading a newspaper or looking at an advertisement, we're talking 10, 20 times longer. Even here at Landvault, we have sessions for some of our experiences in like 20, 30 minutes average session. This is huge compared to an e-commerce website where you spend on average 2 or 3 minutes. So the engagement,
Absolutely.
because of that environment, is really where you can capture the imagination of your audience. And as part of that, obviously monetize them better. So I think when everyone wakes up to that, that's going to be a revolution in the way that engagement happens between brand celebrities and their followers.
It's very interesting. I mean, it's really interesting to be at the forefront of basically being a part of something that is going to literally change the way we actually live the world, we work. It's very interesting to be a part. And obviously, like, just recently I was trying to travel from one place in London to the other, and I went to Google, and I'm Googling, for example, a location, and it pops up and says immersive view. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, right? I mean, who would
Yep.
have thought? And that's what I clicked on. I mean, I don't want to see images, or I don't want to see, I want to check out the immersive view. So when you mentioned about engagement, 100%, their mindset is changing, their preferences are changing. It's all about engagement. And it's very, very interesting to see that companies like Landvault, for example, we are at the forefront of this revolution where we are trying to enable the change, where we are trying to harness the power of change and enable, the customers, and the clients to actually, leverage this platform or this technology so that they can adopt change. And everybody knows that people don't like change. Usually, people don't like change. If I told you, like, maybe 10 years ago, here, pay with Apple Pay or Samsung Pay, you'd be like, what? Why would I
Yeah.
pay with Apple or Samsung Pay? But today, everybody uses it. Like, everybody, like, so they have adopted change. But there's always like the early adopters and then obviously the late adopters. And I really think that the pioneers are the people who adopt early and really see the potential of this immersive and 3D world.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I think the reason why people adopt change, it has to make their life better in some way. There's obviously entertainment and things that you do in your downtime, but most of the tools that have actually catched on, things like Uber, for example, where you can call your cab from your phone. This is really a way to save time. That's why people are using it. It's just much faster. And things like Amazon or Talabat here, you save time also. You don't have to go and actually buy the item. And quite often you save money because
Kafu.
it's cheaper. So saving time, saving money, if you're able to tap into those two motivations, this is something that, would generate real adoption. If you look at what Apple has talked about with the Apple Vision Pro, it's really all about productivity. It's about doing the things that you already do, like looking at pictures or talking with your friends or looking at, spreadsheets, doing some focused work. Those are the things we already do from our phone, from our computers, and now you'll be able to do it in a way that is even better, even more immersive, even more natural, and you'll be more productive. At least this is what they are trying to sell. And that's a big difference from what Meta is trying to sell with the Quest, which is more about playing games and playing ping pong in your kitchen, which is a pretty niche use case that doesn't really motivate everyone. So I think Apple has been quite smart on the Apple Vision Pro by tapping into productivity because this is a core motivation that will always be there. If you can save someone time, save someone money, make them more efficient, then this is you're onto a winner. So I think whatever is being built in the metaverse needs to address those core motivations as well.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Boom.
Awesome. I think that's it. Do we have anything else?
Yeah. No, I think we've probably covered like 4 or 5 kind of topics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And anyway, it's all chopped up anyway. So
Yeah. So, but very interesting.
yeah. Nice. Thank you everyone. And make sure to follow us next week for another episode. Take care.